Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the Storm Postgame Report. Charles Hamaker here with you. I'm obviously doing it alone. It's been tough lately just getting everything lined up. I've had a bunch going on with Mariners, and yeah, I had there's the AUSL Athletes Unlimited Softball League happening this weekend, so I've been a bit unable to record with Christian. Christian has also had some internet stuff. I think last game we were going to try to do one because it was the Wednesday Connecticut game during the morning. He's going to try to do it more during the day, but he was dealing with some internet stuff that day, so gonna just start doing these on my own when I have to. I wanted to do these every single game, as you guys know, but that's unfortunately due to overlap and some other scheduling issues hasn't been the case. So we'll get into it. Storm beat the Sun last night 79-65. They open up the four-game homestand with this victory. They get the bounce back from Wednesday's loss in Connecticut on the road in the morning, the 8 a.m. start time that was. This one normal 7 o'clock start time at Climate Pledge Arena. Didn't start off too great for Seattle going into halftime trailing, coming into out of the first quarter trailing by six. Just it is an ugly game. This was an ugly, really first three quarters. I'd say two and a half, because that late third quarter is kind of when the Storm started to get things clicking. Um, on the backs of their three all stars. Their three all stars, really. Ezzy Magbagor has another solid game in this one. Um, yeah, another solid game. Not her greatest performance, but just given the way that things are tracking for Ezzy, um, pretty solid. You got to be happy with how aggressive she's being on the court and what she's continuing to do defensively. Two steals and two blocks in this one, plus 12 plus minus. I know plus minus isn't everything, but just seeing some folks, suggest folks who don't know what they're talking about suggest that Ezzy shouldn't be starting and should be Dom. For one, Dom isn't the center, so we'll move on from that. Um, but yeah, off the backs of your three all stars in this one, in Gabby Williams, who led the team in scoring with 18, Skylar Diggins with 14, Eka Gumake with 16. Skylar, her performance in this one, I felt a large part of was driving Seattle for the most part until the other players started to start clicking. And here's Tiffany Mitchell's first game with the Storm, bench high 20 minutes off the bench. We'll get to that. But we'll go through some of this game here. Just started off poorly. No shot attempts at the rim in the first 3 minutes or so. Seattle, it's really weird in the paint in this game. It seemed like for the first three quarters, Connecticut was able to get whatever they wanted inside. Any sort of switches, they were able to find their way into the paint pretty easily, which not great. They won the rebound battle, which has been one of Seattle's issues. Sorry, I thought Cal Raleigh hit another home run down there. Has been one of Seattle's issues for really the last few years, honestly. Um, they won the offensive rebound battle 9-8. If you're looking for a silver lining there, but points in the paint tied. But I'd be fascinated to see that through the first few quarters and what the differential was throughout the course of that game. Um, but it just seemed like they were getting whatever they wanted inside. And that's not great. It's not great. Given some of the players that you've got on the roster, Skylar Diggins ended up breaking the nearly 4 minute drought. If you're not familiar, if you've never been to a Storm game at Climate Pledge Arena, the home fans stand until the Storm score their first basket. So they were standing for nearly 4 minutes waiting for Seattle to get that first basket. They only had one shot attempt at the rim through the first 6 minutes of the game, which is very weird for a team that has been so strong typically inside the last few years with Ezzy, with NECA, you know. Um, they just looked like the sort of form that they showed in the fourth quarter in the last game against Connecticut a few days ago. Um, oops. Um, just didn't look good. They looked somewhat panicked. And Skylar Diggins and Ezzy Magbor were the only Storm players to make a field goal for the majority of that first quarter, which wasn't great. They were 4 for 17 at the end of the first quarter, 1 for 7 from three. Connecticut wasn't much better. They were 6 for 20, 0 for 4 from three. Um, It's just ugly, just really ugly game. And Connecticut came out of that first quarter leading 16-10. Skylar 5 points, 3 boards out of the first quarter, as he 2 points, 2 blocks out of the first quarter, and Zaya Cook with 2 points off the bench to give you a little bit of a juice. And again, for the most part of the first half, it was the Skylar Diggins show. I was thinking watching this game from Husky Softball Stadium as I had the Athletes Unlimited Softball League series this weekend here at UW, thinking that unfortunately she's not going to win it because of the performances that Nafisa Collier, that Alicia Gray, and a couple other players are putting up the years they're having. But I would hope Skylar Diggins is somewhere within the top 10, top eight, fuck it, top five. I'll say top five in the MVP consideration, because she is, as has been talked about the last 2 years, she's the head of the snake for this Storm team. As obviously she's the point guard, but she takes what Noelle Quinn is wanting to run, what she wants to convey to the team, and Skylar embodies that, not only from the point guard position, but also the intensity that she leads with, the leadership that she possesses, right? So I'll say that. Just yeah, very weird to see the struggling offense, shooting about 14% from the mid range around halftime. Um, just poor at halftime, trailing 33-31. Ezzy ended up being tied with Skylar for the point leader at the half. 8 points, 4 boards, 1 steal, 2 blocks for Ezzy at the first half. Nice first half for Ezzy. Skylar 8 points, 3 boards. Tiffany Mitchell 5 points at the half. She looked good. Uh, no, I'll hold that till the end. I'll talk about Tiffany Mitchell at the end. Gabby, 4 points, 2 assists, 2 steals. Neko was quiet in the first half. 2 points, 0 for 4 from the field. So not great, not what you want. Um, I think it's her first time she hasn't notched a field goal in the first half all season. Which just weird. Just really weird. Skylar was leading the 3-point barrage for Seattle. I say barrage. They only made, I think, 6 of 20, 6 of 24. Sorry. Um, Seattle ended up going 6 for 24 from three, which is I think 24%. And Skylar made 3 of those. So Skylar accounted for half of your 3-point shooting in this one. Jesus Christ. She'd been struggling for a stretch from the 3-point, but the last few games she's been starting to pick it up, which again, like, she's already so great at finishing, getting to the rim, her passing ability. Um, so to see her, kind of get that going again, great. Obviously, we know her intensity. So, um, yeah, then in the second half of the third quarter is when people started to pick up. NECA had 10 points in the third quarter. Gabby Williams had 7. Skylar had 5 points in the third quarter, kind of get things going. Um, you know, so things got pretty interesting at the end of the game, though. The fourth quarter is really where Seattle separated. They won the quarter 24-13. I think Skylar was helping lead Seattle off of a turnover. Bria Hartley, it's a clear flagrant foul. Um, there's a great clip out there. I'm not going to use it because I don't want to get copyright striked. Where Skylar is picked up by Gabby Williams to drag her, to pick her up and take her away, because it really did seem like they were going to fight. I understand. So, I mean, it was a poor foul, just poor sportsmanship from Hartley. And Skylar had every reason to be upset. That was disrespectful. That shouldn't have happened. Um, Seattle gets the win 79-65. They pass Atlanta for the 4th spot in the league standings. I believe that's still accurate. I'll pull up the standings while that's going on. Atlanta had a scare. Ryan Howard, I think, nearly went out with injury, but they ended up losing. She came back, I believe, but they ended up losing to the Fever 99-82. Woof. Nice. And yeah, so Seattle sits now, excuse me, 4th in the standings, a win behind the Liberty and the Mercury for, oh no, yes, a win would push them over the Liberty, who are 13-6, and put them at the same win total as the Mercury. So Gabby 18 points, 5 assists, 3 steals. NECA 16 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Uh, Ezzy 14 points, 4 rebounds, as I mentioned, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Skylar 14 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. It looks like, oh hey, NECA, Gabby, and Ezzy did all the work here. No, if you watch the game and you follow along, Skylar was leading the way for the most part of this one. So, kind of talk about the different things here. Um, just with Skylar, yeah, leading the way. I've already kind of done it throughout going over the game, but just so critical to have her, lead the way in a multitude of ways, whether it's just scoring flat out and leading the offensive production, helping from beyond the arc, being again accounting for half of your 3 points, 3 pointers in this game. Continuing to be the point guard she is, set things up, show the defensive intensity. And you'll need some of that when you're playing poorly or having a bad half. What's going to pick you up is a little bit of a jolt. Skylar obviously provides that. Um, mm, 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 mm. Sorry, making sure that's not important. Um, Weird to see NECA have the quiet first half that she did, but her kind of lighting it up and getting started late second half. Sorry, second half of that third quarter, and then the fourth quarter was big. Gabby Williams continuing to be the do-it-all player that she is offensively, taking the step up this year, showing more offensive consistency at times. I'm going to have to look through it, but leading Seattle in scoring in a lot of the games this year so far, as we're 21 games in, um, and obviously the defensive monster that she is, has been so great. So, um, there's a bunch of numbers here I want to see. We'll read through the milestones because it's always fun to see with this, legend this group of players that you've got with the Storm, some of the certified Hall of Famers that are on this roster. It's funny. Seemingly every game there's a record to be broken, so we'll go over them. Ezzy, with 2 early defensive rebounds, Ezzy recorded multiple defensive boards for the 100th consecutive game, tying Stewie for the longest such streak in franchise history and the 10th longest streak in WNBA history. Her 2 blocks in the first half helped her record 300 career blocks. She becomes the third youngest player in W history to reach 300 blocks, behind only Lauren Jackson and BG Brittany Griner. With an offensive board, Alicia Clark passed Tanisha Wright for the 6th spot on the Storm's all-time rebounding list. 2 steals for Gabby before halftime helped her pass Betty Lennox for 12th on the franchise's all-time steal list, marking her league best 16th multi-steal game of 2025. Wheezy, Erica Wheeler, recorded a steal for the 13th consecutive game, tying the 5th longest steal streak in Storm franchise history. In her 300th career start, Skylar Diggins recorded her 61st consecutive game with at least 3 assists, passing Courtney Vandersloot for the 6th longest such streak in WNBA history. I always get worried now that I'm saying Skylar Diggins-Smith. I don't think I've been saying that, but if I have, please let me know. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure I'm saying Skylar Diggins. But Nneka Ogwumike now has the 7th most double-figure scoring games in league history, with 365. And in this one, Skylar Diggins passed 10,000 career minutes played, which is pretty remarkable considering she missed 2 years of her career due to injury, the birth of her children at different times. So, um, goodness. Yeah, every year it seems like there's something else going on. Every game, sorry, seems like there's something else going on. With an accomplishment with this team, a milestone or something of that nature. So, um, just I am a little worried that it required your 3 All-Stars again to kind of lead you in this. Nice again to see Ezzy Magbagor continue to have this strong uptick. Seeing people be weird about Ezzy is so annoying. Like, there's understandable concern. We've said that on the Storm Postgame Report continuously. It's like, hey, what's going on? Where's the offensive production not coming? Like, why is this not happening? She's still been defensively pretty strong, but you kind of wonder. I'm just tired of like people thinking you need to swap Dom and Ezzy because they're not the same. Dominique Malonga, as Coach Quinn has said, is a forward. She possesses the skills of a forward. She wouldn't be able to do what Ezzy's doing defensively, at least not in this part of her career. Um, You do get for your five starters in double digit scoring. We Erica Wheeler only had 6 points, but only the 6 points, 5 assists, four steals. God damn, Erica. Four steals in this one. She had some tough defensive assignments tonight in that game against Connecticut. The bench is interesting. We'll get to the bench. Alicia Clark, I understand there's a lot of frustration with Alicia Clark with the contract she's getting. She only played 5 minutes in this game. She went over three from 3 point land, one rebound in this one. I was gonna go into more of a tirade. No, I think it's fair because I mean, yeah, you're getting paid. I think just over $200,000 this season, which is one of the heftier contracts. And you're only playing 5 minutes. You go over three from three. Not great. Not great. Dom played 10 minutes in this one. Interesting left. She led Seattle in rebounding with 8 boards, 4 offensive rebounds, and 4 defensive rebounds. Second highest, tied for the second highest rebounding total in this game. Tina Charles had a double and double in this one, 10 rebounds. Uh, Olivia Nelson Adora had 8 boards as well. So Dom ties her for second in the game in terms of rebounding total. 4 points, 8 boards, 1 assist. Nice game from Dom. Just 2 turnovers and 2 fouls though that you'd like to work on, but that'll come. You know, it is still interesting to see the different way that she's impacting the game, and for her to lead the team in rebounding, certainly not ideal because you like to get more from some of your other players, of course. But good for Dom for doing that and leading in that regard. Tiffany Mitchell, I can get to that. She looked comfortable. Wasn't really expecting it per se to see her signed by Seattle. I wasn't expecting that. Seattle on Thursday had just reached the threshold needed to uh to be able to sign a contract like this with a veteran. And so right when they could, they did with Tiffany Mitchell, who had become available, started the year with the Aces, got released when I got waived. Sorry, I want to get the terminology right. When the Aces acquired Liz Smith. Um, so Seattle adds a veteran guard, played 20 minutes in this one. I mean, she doubled the most minutes, second most minutes on the bench with Dom, who only played the 10. 5 points, 3 rebounds in this one. Look good, look confident. Gives you something else. Lexi Brown was available, 100% available per Coach Quinn in the pregame press conference. She's been dealing, I believe, with some illness related things. I believe it is Crohn's related to her Crohn's disease that she's dealing with. Um, didn't play in this one, and I think it's pretty like if she was 100%, it's damning that you again bring in Tiffany Mitchell. She plays 20 minutes. Could be game flow. You could get the exclusives game flow, but I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting. So overall, I mean, not great that you had to, kind of put on that late push in the second part of the third quarter and push on that fourth quarter to get this win against this Connecticut team. It is the WNBA. Connecticut's look scrappy throughout the course of their season. They are the lowest win total in the league with just the 3 wins on the season. Oh, I've got the standings open already on the line. Yeah. Lowest win total. Uh, half as many wins as Los Angeles and Dallas or the other lower teams in the standings. But oh, I see. Just it's not great, but I will say I will find cope in it that the resiliency that Seattle needed to win this game is what a playoff team needs, is what a championship team needs. I'm not calling them, a championship winner here. Okay. But the resiliency is needed. You need to be able to handle adversity, which they have early on into this season. I mean, you look at the Storm, so much of the talk after the loss of that to Connecticut back on Wednesday was about, hey, how come you've beaten the Liberty twice, the defending champs twice, you've beaten the Lynx once and nearly beat them the first game. You've beaten Phoenix 2 out of 3 times, and you've beaten Atlanta once. Like all of the other contenders you've beaten them. Why are you losing here to oh, interesting. Why are you losing to Connecticut? So I get that. I do. But again, with the 44 game schedule, with the competition in this league, it's just not gonna be realistic that um it's not realistic that you're gonna always win. You know, the lower rated teams will get a win. It's rare that they ever go winless in leagues around, American sports. So I know it's not great. It's not ideal, especially with the way that the losses have come. But um, I'm happy with the resiliency. I'm happy with the resiliency with three All Stars showing up. I'm happy with Ezzy continuing to get better and show more aggression throughout the course of the season. Dom, nice to see her do better in another aspect of her game. We've talked about her scoring production and the limited minutes that she's been able to get. The rebounding, crucial. 10 minutes, 8 boards. That's good to see. Nice to see Tiffany Mitchell come in and look like she's just ready to go right away with Seattle. So yeah, I will take that out of it. I know it wasn't the best game for them to win. I know they could have looked better. But I will take positives out of it. So Seattle will keep things going. The second game of that 4 game homestand is on Sunday, July 13th, 3 p.m. start time for the Storm against the Washington Mystics. Washington's 10-10. They had a strong start to the season, kind of led by their rookies in Kiki Iriafen and Sonia Citron. Third in the Eastern Conference right now. I closed the standings tab. I should have kept it open. Having won their 2 last games, beating Chicago and the Aces both by 2 games apiece, actually. So kind of interesting there. They are tied in the standings with the Fever at 10-10. And they're tied with Golden State in terms of wins in the league with 10, but Golden State only has 9 losses so far in the year. Um, Interesting. Both Seattle and Washington are 3-2 over their last 5 games. Hmm. No, it'll be interesting to see Washington. I kind of questioned what they were doing in the offseason with their roster. I said, "Hey, do you know what's going on? Like, what is the plan here?" And the rookies they brought in really helped them. Brittany Sykes, who used to, her defense used to give Jewel Lloyd hell, leading them in scoring. Citron, Kiki Uriafen, 2 very exciting rookies. Young forward Shakira Austin, looking good. She's not starting a lot of games. Only started 9 of the 17 that they've played. Oh yeah, and Jade Melvin gets to come back. So I don't know. Washington's got some fun younger pieces. So, but I don't know. I feel good about Seattle. I knew coming out of that loss to end the road trip, that they were going to want to respond well to begin the homestand. I wouldn't call the win that they just got, the one we were just talking about, as responding well, but they can still respond well to end the homestand, to close out the rest of the homestand, and send us to the All-Star break. So, when you play a road trip where you beat 2 contenders during it in Atlanta and the Liberty, you know. So, yep, that's it. Again, sorry that it's just me. I know some of you guys don't like me too much. That's fine. But still want to do these. So, yeah, man. Sunday till we get that one. Sunday against the Mystics, 3 o'clock start time. That one's only on local broadcast CW Seattle. I believe if you've got Amazon Prime in the local TV market, you'll be able to watch it that way as well. Till we see you next time, take care of yourselves, be well, do whatever you can to make today a great day.